This is Amy with Notes from Past Amy. I really hope this take is as good as the last one was, which I accidentally deleted. So, this is my first pen report, currently inked, pen rating, report card type of situation. It's been over a year now that I've been using these pens, and so I kind of feel qualified, a little bit, sort of, to do this. These are categories that I care about and that I wanted to know about, and so there they are. The oven beeps at one point, and so I think I picked up on this side, but I have to tell you all of the things before that again, so I hope I don't miss anything. If I miss something, leave a comment. I'm trying to do better with comments. These numbers mean nothing to you guys. It's just my pen experience number, my ink experience number. That's how I've cataloged them in my system. If I want to know anything more about whatever information I have on this pen, this is where I find it, under pen number 48. Anything I want to know about ink 1127, which is, what's the brand? Jacobin Emerald de Chevaux, then it's under number 1127. That's the number it is on my pen companion and all of the things. So those are just for me. They don't mean anything to you guys. Here's a brief description of the pen and of the ink. Then we have ratings, 1 being the lowest score up to 5. And for the pen side, I have uniqueness, nib performance, size and shape, and then price. Now, a 1 in uniqueness is a Chinese copy, like the Jinhao, is it 80, 82? I think this is the 82, the Pro Gear Slim. See why I don't use this pen? It's so tiny. How do people use this thing? But it's adorable, right? It's adorable. So as soon as I got this pen, I got it just to test the size. I've never actually used it. I don't think I even dip tested it. But that would be a 1, not original. It's a copy. 2, something you can get that's actually the brand. If this was actually a Pro Gear Slim, I don't think they have any standard releases, but let's pretend it's like a always available Pro Gear Slim, which I don't know if it exists. But if it did, this would be a 2, because it's actually the thing it looks like, and it's one that's always available. Now, if this was a limited edition of 500, maybe the Christmas tea pudding, again, I don't know if that's an accurate situation, but we're going to pretend it is. So it's a 3. It's a little more rare. Maybe the Christmas tea pudding is now only a 50 pen release, which I don't think that's true, but pretend that it was only a release of 50 pens. It's like super exclusive, limited. That's a 4. Or if it's a one of a kind, you commissioned your own Sailor Pro Gear Slim. Again, I don't think that's possible, but work with me here. That's a 5. So my custom pens are 5s. And then I've got some that are like 1 of 40, 1 of 43. Those are 4s. Here you can see this one did not rank very high. It's kind of a standard off the shelf, but it's an actual brand. It's not a copy. So Le Bon 325. Its nib performance is fantastic. It has a custom nib on it. That one's very subjective. If I don't like the nib, it goes, low to high. So depending on how much I like it, out of the 5 stars, or a rating of 5. Size and shape. I don't have a lot of variance in size and shape. Something like this, as I just mentioned, way too small for me. Never use it. It's adorable, but it's like a doll pen. Not quite, but you know what I mean. So I measured the length of my pens. I have one that's under 5 inches. Most of them hover around 5 1/4, but under 5 inches is a 1, 5 inches is a 2, 5 1/4, a 3, 5 1/2, a 4. Those are my longest pens. So to get that extra point, doesn't matter where it falls on the length scale, if it has a good size grip and I don't have to hold it back for a good fit, then it gets that extra point. Price. Under 50 was my aim. Good pens under $50. I have like 1, 2, I don't know. That was my aim. So that's a 5. If it was over 200, which I also have, I think 2 of on this list, it's only a 1. So over 200, between 150 and 200, 1 to 150, between 50 and 100, and then 5-star, under 50. Let's see how everyone ranked in a moment. I think this is where it cut off, so if I'm missing anything, it's not making sense. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But at this point last take, the oven started beeping, and so I said, I'll be right back. Here on the right side we have all the ink information. Color match is rather subjective. I can do what I want there. It's how well I feel the color coming out of the pen matches the body of the pen, or how well it's meeting my expectations of what should come out of the pen. This is a nice broad nib, 1.5 cursive italic. I want something sparkly. I want something sheening, something special, shading, whatever. It needs to be not just standard ink. I really do like shimmers and anything above a medium, and I kind of have come to expect that. So is the color either matching the body and or is it matching what I want to have coming out of the pen? Flow. Is it wet? Is it dry? Can I color well with it? That's also my personal rating. How well, 1 to 5, I feel it flows. Dry time. That one's rated specifically by however many seconds it takes. So starting with a minute or over, 1 star. It gets a 2 for 45 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. Yes, that's where I want to be. 5. And then we have the price per mil, because that is definitely a factor. I've got a lot of like fancy ones right now that were either sent to me in some sort of exchange giveaway or just a really great price on Reddit, where I got a giant lot of ink samples for a really great price. And so I'm always looking at the price per mil, especially if I really, really like it. There's a few hearts here, combinations I loved, but this Wearingeul ink is a 2 on price. So a 1 means it's 75 cents or over per milliliter, and I did these all on bottles, kind of the best price I could find. I didn't like go overseas looking for different prices, except for Colt pens, because I've ordered from there. They're great, they're fantastic. All my diamine prices are from Colt pens. The Kobe was best at Yoseka. It's one of those. It's also on Jet Pens for 32. The place, maybe it was Yoseka, I wrote down was 30 because that was the best price, and it's like local-ish. I mean, what's local in Alaska? But anyway, local-ish. There are a couple here from Atlas, and all the diamine, which a lot of this is diamine, is from Colt pens. It came, just took a second. All right, so if the price is 75 cents or over for a milliliter in these bottle prices, it's a 1. If it's between 50 and 75 cents a milliliter, 2. Between, whoa, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, yes, it does. 35 to 50 cents is a 3. 20 to 35 cents is a 4. And less than 20 cents, that's what I will call my budget inks in an upcoming video. At least that's the plan. Budget inks, it's a 5. Less than 20 cents per milliliter. If you're ordering from Colt pens, some of these standard colors are more like 10 cents a mil, 8.9 cents, depending on if you're getting a sale, one of those buy 4, get a bottle free things. They do different discounts, or there's, what are they called? It's not really affiliate, but you can get a discount code. I know of a couple, and I will try to remember to put links to those. If you're going to be shopping at Colt pens, you can just put in this person's email, and you will get 10% off. At least that's how it's supposed to work. I haven't ordered from them for almost a year. It was the end of January 2023 last time I ordered from them. So anyway, we're just going to go through each case and look at the pens, because I don't want to mess up the arrangements I have. I love how they are arranged, and we will see how each one rated. Starting with the Laban 325 in Lagoon. Probably the only color I will have of this one, because it's not a great size and shape. It's a little short, it's a little thin. It is very similar to the Estie. I'll just show you really quickly. Very similar. Look at that. Very similar. They both have the old style JoWo nibs. They're being sold now, both of these with the regular just outline. But these are older styles, and they're very, very, very similar in size, shape, maybe weight. I don't know. This one feels a little bit heavier, but I'll bet this one's about out of ink, so that's probably not fair. And they both feel too small for me. So they have 2s for size. They're also not super duper unique. This I don't think is limited in any way, but it's not a Chinese duplicate, so it's only a 2. Nib performance is fantastic. This is a custom grind on a 1.5 stub nib that came with the pen, I assume. Mark Bacchus tuned this to a cursive italic, and it is fantastic. Love the nib on this one. Also, I got a really good price on this. It was under $100. So in my second bracket, from the top, ranking at $90 is number 4. The color, it like goes, but I don't know if I'm absolutely in love with it, so I put a 4 instead of a 5. Flow, really good. Dry time takes a while, good 45 seconds, so a 2. Price per mil on the Emerald of Chivor is $30 or right under, unless you're getting a good Atlas sale or something, but it's about $30 for 50 mils, which puts it in the 50 to 75 cent bracket, which is only a score of 2. Next up, River City in Tiny Riot. This was a Stormwinds blank that I haven't been able to find on the website, so I don't think she makes it anymore, with Strawberry Whip accents. It does not get the grip bonus, but it is very unique, so it gets a 5 for uniqueness. It also has a custom nib, Ryan Krusak's Architect. This is the new style Yovo with just the outline. I love it. It's a 5. Size and shape, it's over 5 inches, so it must have ranked at 5 1/4 to get the 3. It did not get a bump up because the grip is way too tiny. Look at that. Price, I got this in for a good price. Oops, up here. $75 for the body, another $50 for the nib. It's worth it. I have a lot of 3s, and this is why, because I buy a pen body, I buy a nib, I put them together, and it pushes it into that 3rd category. I have a lovely ink in here. I'm enjoying this blue, but it's just blue, and it does not match. Does not match. But I needed something with blue, and that was before I arranged the cases this way, and so I have really liked this color. It flows great, dry time's fast. It's the same price as the Emerald of Chivor, so a 2, between 50 and 75 cents per milliliter. Not what I would call a value ink, but maybe a fun splurge ink. Oh, I pulled this one out, and there is no nib in this one. Right after I recorded the last video, there was someone on Reddit looking to buy a journaler nib, and I said, well, I've got this one I've been contemplating selling. Are you interested? And I think I shipped it off the next day. So, waiting for another nib on that. You can get more information later when that nib finally arrives, if it ever does. Monteverde Giant Sequoia, old favorite. Love this one. You can tell number 15, a pen I've had for quite a while, versus 57. That's one of my very most recent pens. Not most recent, but within the last... 57 is the nib number, actually. So the body is probably like 61. But since I bought it to pair with that nib, they are together number 57. And I have not used them very much, but I went ahead and rated them. Hopefully, I feel as confident about this at the end of the video as I do right now. Monteverde Giant Sequoia. I've never had a problem with this nib, so it's a 5. It does not handle shimmer, but other than that, it's great. Never had any issues. Not unique at all. Has a little bit of, it's not really ornamental design, but whatever. It's got some sort of design on the nib. I found out when I had the journaler nib on just a blank gold Yovo nib that I do not like the naked nib look. Just don't. Doesn't look clean to me. It looks bare and empty. Price. I got this on clearance in November of 22. It was less than $40, so definitely less than $50. Puts it as a 5. Color match. Fantastic. It looks gorgeous. Look at that. 5. Flow. Beautiful. Dry time. Fast. Price. Not so good. $22 for 30 milliliters. Again, we're in a 2. Between 50 and 75 cents per milliliter. Not exactly a value ink, but it looks fantastic and it performs really well. Esterbrook SD and Lilac. I'm ready for this rose quartz ink to run out. It does look more pink, where here it looks more purple on most papers, but it's always flowed really well. The nib sometimes feels dry to me, so I put it as a 4 uniqueness. I'm guessing it was a limited edition special release type of thing since they don't have it anymore. So I went ahead and gave it a 3. instead of the 2 ranking for just a standard like Esterbrook Esty. Size and shape, again, small, it's like that Laban. So 2 on that, doesn't get the bonus point for being chubby here. So what is the 2? 5? Yes, 5 inches. It's 5 inches. Price, I only paid $75 for this, so it gets 4. Color match, does not match, and I don't like how it looks kind of purpley on this paper, so a 3. Flow was good, dry time was fast. Rose quartz is a little cheaper than the, oh no, I can't think of what they're called. The 1670. What brand is that? The inks that put out Emerald of Chivor. $20.37 currently on Colt pens for 50 mils. Puts that between 35 and 50 cents per milliliter. So a little bit better value. Still haven't decided if I'm going to get a bottle of that. Here we go, pink case. River City Amethyst Frost. Same model, this Westwood, as the Tiny Riot, but with tapered ends and, of course, a different blank. This one has a 1 on price because look at this nib. That cost me more than most of my pens do. More than most of my pen and nib combos. But it's gorgeous. I don't think I regret it. I wish the nib wrote a little better. It wasn't, like, I didn't pay for the tuning of it. I paid for the engraving of it, and I can tell. So it writes. Like, it always writes, but it's nothing special, unless you count the engraving as being special. Of course, that's special. But as far as nib performance, not aesthetics, it could be a little better. And I've thought about sending this one to get ground into something expensive and amazing, but this pen has already cost me, it's almost my most expensive combo. Not quite, but almost. It is very unique. It's one of a kind. It was a custom that somebody got a couple years ago and was passing on via Reddit. So 5 for uniqueness. Already talked about nib performance. Size and shape, kind of similar to the Laban and the Esterbrook and the other River City pen. This, grip is just tiny. So again, it's up here. The length is decent, not like overly long or anything, and it doesn't get the bonus point for having a nice girthy grip. Not as big as the Mont Blanc 149 though. I don't want it that big. It gotta have that nice Goldilocks medium. Color match is fantastic. Like that little bumpy part my son helped me with. Looks so funny. But flow was good. I think it's too much. This nib, I'm not used to it looking this full. I mentioned over here that sometimes this nib seems a little dry. This does not look dry. This does not look dry at all. But I know the history of this pen, so it might be its first report, but we've been together for like 9 months, so this is not its first inking. Dry time was fast. Price per mil on this Murasaki Shikibu from Pilot Iroshizuku is about $24 for 50 mils, which puts it just under 50 cents a milliliter. Mayora Aventus. Aventus? I always call it the Aventus. I don't know. It looks like the Momento Zero Grande with the little like conical bits on it. It's a great size. And I hold it where it's supposed to be held. Look at that grip. It's just like perfect. Uniqueness, not really that unique. It's a numbered pen, but Mayora numbers all their pens as far as I can tell. Really pretty nib. Love that starburst there. Extra fine, which has nothing to do with it. But sometimes the nib performance, it feels a little dry, especially dependent on the ink. This color matched really well. It flowed really well. I haven't had any of the nib crusties. Dried super fast and surprised me on how much Diplomat ink costs. $16 for 30 mils. Again, just under 50 cents a milliliter. How are these different? What did I do? One must have been just a touch over and one a touch under. Okay, I'm not going to question that. Price. When I got this one Christmas of 22, we got it for $133.20. I think I on Anderson last week that they're clearancing the rest of their stock for $125, so they might have one. This is the deep purple. 2 for uniqueness, 4 nib performance. Size and shape, fantastic. Favorite size and shape. It's 5.5 long. It's got a really great grip. Perfect. It's perfect. And price, not bad. A 3. where a lot of my pens are. Divine Pens. I call this one Barbie. It's the pink Radiance Diamond Cast material in the Summerland model. Very similar to the River City model, actually, especially if this wasn't the tapered one, I'll bet. Look how similar those are. In grips, in lengths, in everything. Wow, okay. So this one is made by Divine Pens Plus. It's a one of a kind. So 5, this has a custom nib on it. This is a Franklin Christoph Nagahara fine cursive italic. I love it so much. So 5, size and shape, same as River City. Both of them. Price, $80 for the body, $55 for the nib. I don't know what they go for, either via his website or on Etsy. I think I found him both places. Probably more than that, but yay Reddit. Monteverde Kindness is what this has been inked with since I got it. I think maybe it has darkened in that time. Don't have that confirmation. I'd have to check my book and records of when I wrote with this when it was first inked. But it's been there for a while. I'm ready to change it, and it seems a little bit dark. I feel like when I first inked it, it was a better match. It was a little brighter, not quite so dark. So that's why it has a 4. Flow is fantastic. 5, dries quickly. Kindness is part of the Monteverde Emotions line, and it's $10 for a 30 ml bottle. Not exactly the price I want to pay, but I actually won this ink. So thank you, Pen Chalet. The value of it is 35 to 50 cents a mil. So let's see, Diplomat. How did that come out? Oh, yes, it was just over 50 cents. Okay, got it. And then this one is just under 50 cents a mil. That's what happened. Diamine Polar Glow is in this Benu here. It says Benu Celebration because I have 3 Benus. They're all Euphorias, but they're all different colors. So this in Celebration, it was my first one. I forgot to double check that price, but I'm pretty sure it was like $84, $85 or something like that. Just under $85. And I like this color coming out of this pen. Look at that match. The only thing I wish was different was I wish this had shimmer ink in it. So I think I will be looking to get some Jack Frost. Probably not in the near future because, you know, I don't need to be ordering ink when I just got a big bag of samples and other samples from other places. I now have over 100 samples. It's ridiculous. But I'm really enjoying them. And I think it will be hard not to use the entire Polar Glow sample in this pen because I love the batch so much. And then the sheen that comes off of it. I have some just regular writing behind this board in this pen color combo, and it looks fantastic. There's a beautiful sheen on all of the writing, and if it had some shimmer, it'd be perfect. The pen was one of, I don't know, it was a limited, exclusive, special edition type of thing before I really knew what I was doing, and so it's not like readily available, but it's not one of 50. So I ranked it in that kind of special limited edition 1 of 500, even though I don't know if it's actually that limited or more limited, who knows. Nib performance is great. I've always loved this nib. Size and shape almost perfect. If this were thicker, it'd be perfect. Price $85. That's great. I mean, cannot complain for a limited edition Benu. Euphoria. Color match, just wish it had some shimmer. Flow is good. I don't know why I docked it one there. I'm trying to think. Don't know. I do not know. Huh. I think that should be a 5. Dry time. Pretty good. 20 seconds. I think it's a little longer because of that sheen, but I'm not exactly sure. I've only been doing this a year. This color is from the Diamine Ink Vent Blue Edition. So the first one, you can get a 50 ml bottle for just over $10. Great value ink. Won't get a full bottle because I want to get the one with the shimmer, but a great color, great value. On to the third one. Westwood. Look how cute. It's so little, and these pink spots just crack me up. But I love this purpley color that goes through here and how shimmery it is, and then the little bits of or pearlescent rather, and then the shimmery bits here in the aqua sections, or maybe sea glass even, whatever color you want to call that. Love this coloring here. Hilarious, but I got the pink in there. I didn't know what material this was until recently. I'm pretty sure I saw a pen on Instagram that's labeled with this material, and it was something about mermaid, so I just wrote Westwood Mermaid. This owl nib is the one that came on Amethyst Frost, but we did a little switcheroo after the grinding, and now the owl nib lives on this little cutie. It is short. The size is probably the worst size of all my pens. I think it's the only one with a 1, yes. Not a good size, but it's adorable, and we get along okay. Probably because I don't use this nib for like really, really long periods of time. I don't know. I'll have to test that. It is one of a kind, as far as I know. Fantastic nib. I love this grind. This is the Perspective from Custom Nib Studio. Size and shape, short, tiny. But you know, for some reason, somehow, some way, it works, and I have no plans to sell this in the near future. Price, I paid $70, just shy of $79 for the body, $61 for the nib. Oh, plus 10 for the, well, $61 for the grind, and then like $14 for the nib. I need to add that on there. Little pencil. Does that bump me to the next category? I hope not. Nib, grind, body. Goodness, this is a Frankenpen, isn't it? So we've got 80 and 60. That's 140, 150. Okay, basically right at 150. We're going to leave it at the 3. Color match, love color match. So this is from the green edition Inkvent, Memory Lane, the 2023 version. Oh, it's so beautiful. Color match, gorgeous. Flow, beautiful. Dry time, amazing. It is about $13.50 for 50 mils, which puts it just over 20 cents a milliliter. I need a bottle of this. And I need, as in, you know, not actual need, but I would really enjoy a full bottle of that. I went ahead and put the pink Safari on here because it's in my case. I use it all the time. It's not a unique pen, but it performs amazingly well. Size and shape, well, you know, when you hold everything back here, it doesn't bump up the size and shape to a great, at least not in my ranking, to, you know, some sort of amazingly great, perfect pen shape. But we get along really well, and I think this grippy part back here with the nail polish makes it feel a lot better than the regular slick kind that I had and immediately sold. For some reason, that feels different, and I really get along with it well. The price was amazing. Came with 5 black cartridges and a blue cartridge, and I don't know if there was anything else, but it was under $20 shipped, and so yeah, I would get this one again, definitely. Color match, not great. I think I like the color on its own, but I'm not convinced. Does not match coming out of the body. Not a good color match, but the flow is great. The dry time is good, and this is from the red edition of Inkvent. Again, about $13.50 for 4 mils, so just over 20 cents per milliliter. Great value. This one, my newest pen, my Christmas pen, was limited to 43 pieces, so that gives it a 4. Oh look, this is number 30 of 43. I never noticed that before. Thank you, Light. Miura, Italy, number 30 of 43. How cool is that? Why did I never notice that before? And I've recorded this video 3 times, and I've just now noticed this. Okay, anyway, so it's one of 43 pieces, and the nib, when I went to write with this, I don't know what happened. Size and shape is fantastic. It's the same as the Aventus. The price was pretty good. Paid $160 for this one. It's a gold nib, my only modern gold nib. But when I went to write, it was so dry. This is why the writing up here looks crazy, because it wasn't writing. And then I got my hands into it, and because the dry time, even though this isn't extra fine, for some reason this ink does not dry as quickly as you would think. I'm not sold on the color match. I feel like maybe it needs to be a bit brighter. I don't know. you can tell I'm just learning this pen because I'm really not confident on any of this stuff. Okay, the price and uniqueness, yes, but yeah, this is just first impressions, I'm afraid. Dry time, 30 seconds, gives it a 3. Price per mil on this Udinil, it's a value ink. About $2.50 for 30 mils is what I paid when I ordered this one last March, I think it was. So, well under 50 cents a milliliter. That one needs more time, that's for sure. This LeBoeuf also is a custom nib. This is the nib that came on it in medium. It was kind of a smaller medium. Let's put it under the camera, that would be wise. And I got it ground to a formal italic. So the sharp, not cursive, the sharp italic. And I love it so much. This was one of 40 pens. These are not numbered. It was a limited edition. Nib performance is amazing. I love this grind. Size and shape, it's a little short, but it's chubbier here. So I'm pretty sure it got the bonus point. Yeah, it's only 5 inches, but it got a 3 because it's chubbier here. So I don't have to hold it back there. That feels too big. Yeah. It's actually a really good size. It got a 3 for price because I paid $95 for the pen nib in the first place, and then I had to pay another $46 for the grind, so puts it in the 1 to 150 range, as are a lot of these. Color match is gorgeous. I love this Diatramentis Pearlescent Brilliant Violet Copper. Way too long to write out, so there's my abbreviation. The flow was amazing. Dry time, couldn't ask for better. And the price on this Violet Copper was not that bad. I got it right after I got into pens. My first Goulet order, I think it was Black Friday of 22. I paid $13.60 for 45 mils. So beautiful. Love this combination. I can't believe I didn't put a heart by that one. Wow, I'm surprised. I really like that combination. And then from the case, I reached for the Momento Zero Grande. I felt bad after telling people on a premiere that once in a while it gives me extra ink, and I don't appreciate that. And so she's been on her best behavior, I guess. I don't know, because she hasn't done that since. So whatever the reason, I don't know. See that chubby grip again? Yes, and this one's a little bit longer. So size and shape, it must not have been 5.5. No, it's only 5 3/8. So it's just shy. If I wanted to be nice, I could probably give it a 5. But I'm not sold on this one because of how like sporadic that extra ink was, and I did not appreciate it. We've got this beautiful rose gold nib and accents. I still wish it was just plain gold, but whatever, they didn't ask me. It is one of 40. Actually, it's number 2 of 40. 40, right? Yeah, 40. So it's got a 4 for uniqueness. Whoops, down here. And nib performance, because I know its history, it's a 4. It's been performing really well recently, but I know its history. Size and shape, again, a little bit short, but only because I made that next notch at 5.5, and it's not 5.5, it's 5 3/8. Price, ridiculous. I will probably never get another Momento Zero Grande because I feel they are so overpriced. Why? Why is this $300 at 20% off? Why? How did I convince myself to get this pen in the middle of summer when I don't have work? We're not going to get into that. I actually know how, but oh my word, not getting another one of these. It's been inked with Diamond Pansy since it arrived in July. I'm getting tired of this being in here. I want to try something a little more blue than the reddish color that it leans toward, and it's also really dark. So probably part of that is because it's winter, and so you have to watch how much dark stuff you use because the house is naturally darker, outside is naturally darker. Like there's naturally a lot more dark to life. So you need to consciously bring in things that are lighter, happier, brighter. It's just something I've lived with my whole life. And I don't really think of it that much until I'm doing this kind of thing going, well, but that matches the pen. Why don't I feel like that's a fantastic match? Same here. Because it's winter. It could be argued that matches the pen great. Could be argued that this is a fantastic match. I think Nibs and Flourishes even mentioned that this was one of the best matches for the pen, or maybe an inspirational color for this blank. But you know what? We're in the middle of winter. That needs to be brightened up a little bit, and it's just been in there a long time. I'm ready for a new color. So 4. Flow, again, I know its history, so I knocked both Nib Performance and Flow 1 because of that history. Dry time is really good, only takes about 10 seconds, and Pansy is from one of Diamine's special ranges, like the music collection, guitar series, that kind of thing. So it's a little more, about $3.50 per 30 ml bottle, but still under 20 cents a ml if you divide it out that way. Put you back in the drawer. And then from this pen case, these are my Flexes stash, and then my vintage 92. So I decided to put these two, and yes, I know the book is backwards here because, well, it's just how it worked out. When you put this on backwards, the book's backwards. So I decided to do these two because I think I'm really liking these combinations and I wanted to document them. This is the pen where I said what I'm wanting to come out of the pen is going to be its color match, because I don't want any kind of weird black brown ink coming out of this pen. I love Tropical Glow in here. So pretty, makes me happy every time. So that's why I have a heart by this, and it says 5. Flow is fantastic. Can you see that weird spot in there? I gave it a 5 for flow, even though, let's see, we've got a little space here. When you're writing with this, see, flow 5. But when you're writing like this, it doesn't really like it. So I gave it flow as if I'm doing the flexing, because really, who's gonna just do the coloring with this pen? That's not what this pen's for. This pen is for flexing. So that's why it has a 5 for flow. Coloring didn't apply to these flex pens, although this one can color very well now that I think about it. Dry time, terrible. Takes forever, but it's worth it because it looks gorgeous. But that's why you have this big thing here, in case I forgot to say that, because I flexed it there, so I had some more ink to color with. Price per mil on Tropical Glow, it's less than $10 for 50 mils. It's a great price. My son and I both love this ink. If I ever do a top 10 inks, it's probably going to have to be in there. The pen itself, not exactly unique. Ugly, not beautiful. It's a 2. Nib Performance, I love. Size and shape, terrible. It's tiny. I can only practice my writing for a little while, and then I have to do something else, because even when I hold it here, it feels small. Price, I paid $52 for each of my 52s. How appropriate, right? Yes. But I went ahead and did it as a 4 instead of sneaking it in, because if you don't count shipping, I paid less than $52, but I usually count shipping on all my stuff. So if you don't count shipping, I could have slipped it in as the 5, but I know these aren't usually $52 in 2023, which is when I got this one. So I put it in the price bracket over $50, because $50 to $100 is what I was expecting to pay. I was hoping to get one for $100, and I just, right place, right time, found the listing on eBay before, like 16 hours before it ended. It didn't end in the middle of the night, which is great because times don't work in my favor. And yeah, it just worked out. So Jinhao X750 in purple, I have 4 X750s. The 2 with the flex nibs are the ones, ultra flex nibs, are the ones that I use. I was going to say the most, but now I'm thinking about that, and they're the only ones I ever use. So yeah, not unique at all. They're Chinese, probably imitation of something, I'm not sure what. Nib Performance, I really like this nib, but if you notice right across from it, the flow is only a 3, because of the wonderful things it does, except for when it runs out of ink in the feed. So you'll be flexing along, hey look, there's no ink in the feed. Oh, this part drives me crazy. Then you have to go down, put more ink in the feed. Whoops, that was enough. But you gotta put enough or it won't flex. So this part drives me crazy, but there we go. I probably need an ebonite feed, but when I put this together, the ebonite feed didn't fit. Maybe I should have worked at heat setting it or something, but let's face it, I'd been in pens for like 2 months, maybe. I was not ready for that. So anyway, look at the gorgeous shimmer on that. So beautiful. This will also dry that same way. Diamine Pride's in here. I'm not sure if it's a Cult Pens exclusive, but that's where I looked up the price for it. It's basically $10 for 50 mils. Great price. I think I need this one too. I know it's another purple, but I love this match. So let's see, we run Nib Performance. Flexes really well. Great spring back. Size and shape of the pen, not great. Not great. A little bit better than this one though, right? Because this guy's just tiny. Eventually, I would like to, I think, look at that little nib. It's so cute. Put it into a Jowo 6 housing and get a bigger body for it. I think that would be worth it. And if I end up paying about, you know, like 80 for a body, as I've been doing, and then get the housing, it's probably like 20 bucks, and then have that 52 be the nib cost, still puts it in a 3, or right about a 3, which is where most of them end up when it's something that I really like. So that just seems to be my perfect combination. 1 for uniqueness, 5 for performance, 2 for size and shape. There we go. 5 for price because it's like $6.50, something like that. And I got these on Amazon, so who knows, it could be better someplace else. Color match. Love the color match. Flow, I just explained that. Dry time, over a minute because it's a lot of ink and it's ridiculous how long it takes to dry, but it looks gorgeous, so we live with it. Price per mil, 10 bucks for 50 mils. It's a value ink, and that's what I have inked. I've got a couple more, like the 2023 New Year's, but it's always with the same green, or the Safari in red always has Red Dragon in it. This used to be where I would keep Tropical Glow, and then I switched it over to this one. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the bronze now, but even though this is tiny, I love the Flex nib. This always has a purple in it, and this has some kind of goldeny brown in it. So those are there. If I need those colors, I can grab them, but they're not like changing and need rated and stuff. So these are always inked. They always have the same ink in them, and that's just kind of how it is. They're not on my ratings. How will this look next time? I don't know. Guess you'll have to tune back, and I'll have it figured out by then. Good thing I've got some time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's not 45 minutes. If it is, I'm just going to post it anyway, because after 3 takes, it is what it is. So take care. Thanks for watching as always. I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.